Hello, my name is Sebbi and welcome back to the coffee break in Minecraft. Today is Sunday, April 30th, 2023. I basically just returned from the next race event. I just grabbed some fruits, took a shower, and yeah, now I'm here to tell you from the run of the aces. The run of the aces, indeed. But first, I have to feed the cat. I still got some fish in my inventory. So here, have a catch. Are you happy? Alright, cat starts to purr, so cat is happy. Let's store away the remaining fish. I think I will catch some more fish today because I have plenty to talk about. Let's step outside and make sure that the Enderman has not stolen something from the park. We also need to go over there to the Hall of Sports. So it was a good race. It was a very good race. Yeah, I think everything is still in order. Oh, hi. You are not in order. You are not at all in order at all. Can you please, yes, expire? That's good. That's good. That's very good. Alright. Where shall I start? Where shall I start? I don't know. I think I will just start from this morning. Because this morning I woke up after a very good night's sleep. So yeah, really paid attention to get in decent amount of sleep. That's awkward. Decent amount of sleep every night to recover as best as possible. Because yeah, there was still lots of training involved in over the course of the last days, and of course this is not working. I'm not getting on you when you're underneath a tree. Please. And yeah, so I wanted to recover as much as possible, and it worked. It worked really well. But I also noticed, okay, it's race day, and so there was some adrenaline going. There was definitely some adrenaline going, and yeah, I mean this is good. This is really good because it helps to focus, it helps to prepare, it helps to get ready, and also to deal with the, in this case, upcoming physical stress that such a race where you want to improve your personal best. Yeah, it just happens. It's just a thing that will happen when you try to do this. So yeah, I still felt really good, felt really prepared. I also took a look at this marathon relay and all the training and the way how the training worked this month, which gave me some confidence that at least what my best possible outcome was definitely the thing that, oh dear, that could work out. So this was amazing. This was really great. And yeah, the race itself, it's quite a popular race for this town. It's a race where often people come together, well, groups of of people like if you're in a certain business, or there was also a big group of runners from the institute, from the Computer Science and Mathematics Institute, where I also belong to. So they formed a big group, and yeah, overall it's just a huge big event. There are so many races. There are some entry level races, some pupils races, some I think there's the easiest race is just 2.5k run. It's basically one lap, so each lap was 2.5k. So in my case 10k, I had to run 4 laps. And yeah, then there was 5k race. The distance basically increased with the time. And then there was, before the last big race, where I feel bad when I say normal runners compete, because every runner is great, no matter if you're quick or slow or whatever. Every runner is fantastic. But for the sake of this explanation, let's call them normal runners. Yeah, where they compete. Before that race, before the last race, there was the race of the aces. This is what I told you about last time. You need to have a qualifying time to enter. So basically you need to prove that within the last 2 years you were capable of running whatever the cutoff time is. In this case, it was 39 minutes for male runners and 45 minutes, I guess, for female runners. If you can't prove that one, you are basically not able to compete in that race. There were still quite a lot of runners, and yeah, I had such a time. I was able to provide proof of such a time. So yeah, I signed up for that race, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, so the morning, adrenaline was going, took advantage of it, took a look at all the how the training was, how the last race weekend was, and so on. And yeah, was kind of confident. As said, oh no, dang, I'm just fishing again. I want to do that. As said, as I explained the different distances and that they increased with the time as the day progressed. Yeah, daytime was a little bit of an issue for 2 reasons. On the one hand, on Wednesday I was kind of happy as I looked at the weather forecast. Hey, it should be overcast, so this should be great, should be good conditions. Unfortunately, there was no overcast. In fact, there were no clouds at all, at least for the race of the aces. The main event, they had some clouds, but we had no clouds at all. Our race started at 13:50, so basically early afternoon when it's really warm. Thank you. Also, this 13:50 race start is, I don't know. I personally found this not great, because even if you would eat lunch at noon or so, it would be still too close for your lunch. But at the same time, if you don't eat anything, you risk to yeah, maybe run out of energy, or might get too hungry or so. So yeah, I just found the time not ideal, and it contributed a little bit to my result. Not that my result was bad, but it contributed to it that it was not perfect. Let's call it was not perfect. So So yeah, but the time was not great, and temperatures and so on were also interesting. Yeah, so after breakfast and enjoying a little bit more the adrenaline, and thanks, we would have needed that. Hey, why are you back in the sheep? Why? Yeah, after breakfast, I completed a few things here and there, solved a few things. And then it was time to get to the event, pick up my race number, do a warm up, get ready for it. I decided, okay, because I had breakfast early morning, I should enjoy some yogurt over 2 hours before the race. So I enjoyed the yogurt nearly 2.5 hours before the start of the race. Then got there, warmed myself up, got ready for the race. Yeah, then we got to the start of the race. As it was this run of the aces, of course, there were not many runners. It was still a nice group, but it was not a huge crowd or so, because with that requirement to prove a certain time and so on. Still, it was fantastic, because this race, there were fast guys, and I basically was able to compete in this exact same 10K race where also some runners from Kenya competed. So, I mean, they are the Kenya and Uganda and so on. They bring the best runners of the world, Ethiopia as well. So from there, the best runners of the world are exported to everywhere, basically, and they compete everywhere. And I was able to compete in the same race. Also, there was some German quick runners on the female side. I think one of the fastest runners or so on the female side of Germany were competing in the race. And I was in that race. So just this fact on its own was already fantastic. This was so great. Seeing them, of course, I just saw them from behind, and as the gun went off, I saw them disappear in the distance. They were much quicker. They were really much quicker. I ran together for the first 2 laps with my colleague friend from the parkrun community. So we were at the same pace for some time. But on the one hand, I felt great. So I really felt great over the course of the race with respect to pace and breathing and fatigue in my legs and so on. So this was perfect. However, I noticed, although I ate the stupid yogurt over 2 hours before the start of the race, I started to notice that stupid yogurt in my stomach. And I still feel slightly sick right now, which resulted that in the 3rd lap, the idea was that basically we take turns. I run a little bit ahead. My colleague can be behind me. Then he takes over. I can follow him. But as he overtook me, I couldn't really keep up, and I felt not that great. This was also the slowest kilometer of the entire race. And yeah, the stupid yogurt really slowed me down, because wasn't feeling great. Was thinking when I continued to push harder, I might have to throw up, which would basically result in a very bad time. So had to reduce a little bit the pace. I recovered over the race, luckily, and the last lap was better again, but still, it wasn't great. It wasn't great at all. And yeah, so in this case, my must really say the start time wasn't perfect. The start time and the thing was getting in enough nutrition. I should have just not eaten anything else after breakfast. So I think this would have been better. Lesson learned for next year, I guess, because I will definitely compete again when I can next year. So yeah, this was not great. The temperature and the weather, yes, it was really warm, and other runners suffered more than I did, which was surprising. I was really surprised because the last few days when I was running, I always ran in the morning, and there it was even close to freezing. And now it was 18, 19 centigrade, full sunshine. So yeah, it definitely was warm, way too warm. Luckily, every 2.5 kilometers, there was the aid station. And at the aid station, they had some water. I didn't drink any water because at this pace, drinking water is not ideal. Also, for 10K, you don't really need to drink water. But water is great for just pouring it over you, pouring it over your head, pouring it over your singlet, just to have some cooling effect. And that's what I did, and it helped. It definitely helped. So temperature-wise, it was nice. It was okay. It was doable. It was just the stupid yogurt that was a little bit in my way. But still, I managed to get in a huge PB. Yeah, it's somewhat of a huge PB. Let's do this. So I finished the 10K race with, unfortunately, still 38 minutes and 15 seconds. So there's definitely some improvement. And this with bad or annoying yogurt in my stomach. And also the race course itself, as I said, 2.5K. It was, you weren't able to get into a rhythm. You weren't able really to get into a rhythm because it was a constant up and down. 1K was uphill, so it was times like 3:55 or something like that, 3:50. The other K was downhill, so it were times like 3:35, 3:38. And this also is, it's kind of exhausting. It's hard to pace because you don't really get into a good rhythm. And yeah, this contributed to the challenge of that race. So with my 38:15, I'm still super happy. I did a PB. I did a PB with not ideal conditions. It was a bit too warm. Nutrition did not work out the way I planned it to work out, so I was a little bit handicapped by my nutrition. My goal also was, basically my real goal was to run sub 38. So 37:59 or whatever would have been great. But yeah, only 15 seconds off is not too bad. Not too bad at all, considering these conditions. And there's, of course, room for improvement. Pace-wise, I was really happy with this. My intended pace to run was 3:46 on average. As said, it was so hard to get in a good average pace with the uphill-downhill situation. According to my watch, over the course of these, I mean, it's not much, but over the course of these 10K, I had 70 meters or so of altitude difference. And, well, when you compare this to you run on a track in a stadium or so, which is completely flat, then 70 meters is quite a lot. It's, of course, nothing compared when to a trail race or so. But yeah, so my goal was to run a 346 on average. I ran a 348 on average. And even this is pretty cool. 348 on average for these 10K considering these conditions. Really happy. So I'm really happy. Also, I quickly need to check this. I had the results. So I don't exactly know how many males participated, because in the list of the results some names are missing, because I know one of the runners I overtook and this guy is not in the list. But I finished from under the males in 35th position, which is kind of cool. 35th position. My colleague from the park run finished 33rd. He was what is this? Roughly a little bit then 40 seconds quicker than me. Basically, he completed in the time I wanted to run. He had this 346. I had my 348. And I think without that stupid yogurt, I might have achieved my goal, but I'm still super happy. But what is also pretty cool is just the fact that the super quick females from the German side, the winner was 31:48. I mean, sure, it's not fair to compare males to females, but considering that she's an elite runner and I was just, what are this, 7 minutes, bit less than 7 minutes behind, is somewhat cool, I feel. I mean, looking at the winning time for the males, someone from Kenya won in 28:45. 28:45 is, yeah, that's quick. It's not world record pace, but I think world record pace wouldn't be possible with that up and down situation. But yeah, so 38:15, super cool, super exciting. And considering all these conditions and the fact that I aimed for a 346 average pace and I had a 348 average pace. Cool, really cool. And yeah, then we watched the, oh yeah, before I come to this, I competed once again for our parkrun group. And it was so cool on the final lap, as I was getting closer to the finish. Some spectator seemed to be a parkrun fan and enjoy parkrun and so on. She was really screaming, "Yay, parkrun!" So this was cool. This was really cool. This was fantastic. And yeah, so this was fun. So overall, it was a great event. It was really fantastic. Now I never, despite living in this town for several years by now, never competed in that race. Now I know how the track is. I know about these uphills and downhills and so on. So next time I can be a little bit more prepared for that one. Also, I know that I still have to work on my pre-race nutrition. There are still some improvements to be made. I thought I figured it out, but I never had a race shortly past noon. Yeah, the main event was also cool. Rooting for the other parkrun guys. And yeah, seeing them run. They had a great time. And yeah, so overall, really cool. Really fantastic. PB. And yeah, competed. Well, I wouldn't say competed, but I raced in the same race as some elite athletes. And this is fantastic. This is really great. This was downright amazing. And yeah, this concludes this running adventure. I hope you enjoyed the story of it. So yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, my name is Sebbi. I will now dream of the race of the aces. Until then, see you!